Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, what's going on? Happy Friday. Good morning and welcome on to the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app, brought to you as always by Happy State Bank. Alongside Jeffrey Haxton, I'm Chois Woodman. Lucas White back behind the glass taking care of us. Another abbreviated edition of the program, but this one a little bit longer than what we had yesterday. We'll go till 11 o'clock this morning and give way to more bowl game action. Bowl games are getting better. Had some good ones last night. Enjoyed the finish to the Alamo Bowl last night. Had a good basketball game because Texas Tech did what we talked about yesterday and finished. You put the foot on the throat of someone and accelerated. So that was good. We got plenty to get into today. Of course, this is the last day that we sit here and chat with you before New Year's. So we'll look back on the year, ask you what your favorite sports moment was. I know for a lot of us it's probably going to be a lot the same, all you Rangers fans out there. But you can give your favorite sports moment or favorite Texas Tech
That's not
moment.
mine.
Not your favorite sports moment? Winning the World Series?
Nope.
Was it beating the Longhorns in basketball?
Nope.
Okay, we'll find out. Hax is coming up a little bit later. There's a tease for you. What is Hax's favorite sports moment if it wasn't... Oh, all right, never mind. Never mind. All right. Took me a while to get there. But
I was going to say, really?
No.
You got to think about this?
Well, I was living earlier in the year. I got to later eventually. So you can chime in with yours, but we'll get into lots of stuff. Hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. What is up, Haxdog?
What it do? What it do?
Baby.
It's cold out there this morning.
It is nippy,
Yeah.
for sure. It's a bit nipply.
Came in and the front office there has the cool new digital graphic displayer.
Right.
It said 27 degrees.
Official industry term.
Cool new graphic displayer.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm excited. It was good. You know, last night you had a little bit of a wounded animal coming in Sam Houston State.
Yes. Yeah, them being without their second best player does factor in for sure.
It brought me back to my mid-major days when you would have that happen. Inevitably, you'd go in and get worn out. Mm-hmm. Wherever you were going for your pay game, if you didn't have a full roster, and especially if you didn't have one of your two top players, it's going to be a long night. So they didn't have Wilkerson, I think it was his last name.
Mm-hmm.
And so he did what you should have done, which is just punish them. They didn't have Lamar Wilkerson. He's second in points, second in free throws, first in three-pointers, second in minutes, second in steals, on and on and on. Had 10 points against Grand Canyon last time out. So that left Davon Barnes as one of the other star. If they had two of those guys, if they had two Davon Barnes, they'd have been a completely different team. I'm not sure it would have made any difference with the way you shot the ball.
Sure, that helps a lot.
So that was great. You know, we kind of talked about that in the pregame show. I think we talked about this on our hour show yesterday. What do you want to see? Go out there and treat a mid-major like a mid-major. And that's exactly what happened. You scored a ton of points. So it was fun to see our guys spread the floor. That's what's going to be dangerous about Texas Tech moving forward is floor spacing, allowing for some backdoor cuts, allowing for some lobs. I'm telling you, Darian Williams doesn't get talked a lot about, but I love this kid's game. Love it. I mean, he's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Let's see. Last night was his 45th game as a Division I player. He does a little bit of everything for you. And then boy, you're starting to look around now. Think of how many years we've had, well, who's going to make a 3?
Oh, there's been several consecutive years on that.
Yeah. Who's going to make,
Yeah,
who's going to consistently step up and make 3s?
There's several guys on this team that can do that.
There you go. That's what I was getting at. McMillan, Toussaint, Pop.
We haven't had that luxury, truthfully, and I'm not comparing the two teams, but just the shooting. You haven't had that luxury since 2019. Yeah, you haven't. You haven't had multiple guys like Matt Mooney, like Davide Moretti, like Jarrett Culver that can knock down a big 3 for you. Brandon Francis. I mean, you maybe have one on a team here and there, but finally you've got several 3-point shooters that can knock them down for you, and that's a whole nother animal. I feel, and again, can't take too much away from a win over Sam Houston, but I do feel decent about this team heading into conference play. Decent meaning I think this is a team that can make the NCAA tournament. Not saying they will, but I mean, I walk away from your 10th win saying, hey, this is, if you put some things together, if you find a way to win close basketball games, because there's going to be a lot of those in league play, you got to anticipate that. This is a team that I can feel good about. And man, it just feels like this team you can root for so much easier than what you had on the floor last year. And that's, I know we compare a lot back to last year, but man, what a dumpster fire you went through a season ago. So it is refreshing to get a team out there like this. And again, we'll see what happens, because this league is a absolute monster, and fully expect it to be that again this year.
One good sign that I had long before the ball went up yesterday was I got a chance to catch Pop on his way out of post-game dinner and shoot around, and he came in and talked to me. It wasn't very long, but he was in a very good mood. He's in a very good headspace. I think there's some guys on this team that are in that spot and some guys that are not, and it's okay. It happens all the time.
Sure.
There's only one basketball choice, and it's hard to earn your share of grabbing that basketball. But I think you're looking at a rotation that can absolutely compete in this league.
Yep.
Because we see KU do it every year. Kansas finds 6.5, 7, maybe 8 players.
Maybe.
They play with 7 usually. You've got 7. You've got 7 that are Big 12 players.
Yep.
So I was excited about last night. It was good.
Yeah, definitely a good win. Finally, you put one away. Didn't let the team get back into it after a good start. So enjoyed what we saw last night. You'll get one more of those before it gets very real, as we'll have one coming up on January 1st against the Lions of North Alabama. Got plenty to get into. A lot of bowl game action. We'll fill you in on that and tell you where you can catch the Lady Raiders in their conference opener as well. That's coming up with the headlines. What you need to know on the way. It's the end of the bench on 100.7 The Score.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Got some headlines for you. What you need to know, part of the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. Chois, Woodman, Geoff Haxton here in the First United Bank studio today. You may keep hitting us up. Thoughts, comments, questions, whatever you got on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll get to that. Best sports moments for you in 2023. We will get to a lot of different things over the next couple of hours, but first, headlines. Starting off with Texas Tech basketball. Red Raiders wallop Sam Houston last night, 96-60, as Texas Tech picks up win number 10 of the season. Pop Isaacs leads the way, one of 4 double-figure scorers. He had a career-high 28 points last night. Kerwin Walton had 18, Joe Toussaint 13, and Chance McMillan had 11. So the Red Raiders looking pretty good on the offensive side last night. Shoot the ball very well and get the dub. Pop Isaacs, we got that question yesterday with Ask the Benchwarmers which version of Pop was. Now, he still didn't like just light it up from 3, but he had 5 3-pointers, I believe, on 11 shots. You'll take that percentage.
Sure.
Yeah. If he's gonna be able to knock that down. So Pop definitely had a nice little coming out party on the offensive side. So Red Raiders next in action at 1 o'clock on Monday, which is January 1st. You can listen to that game, of course, on Double T 97.3. Lady Raiders will open up conference play tomorrow. That is at Houston. That'll be the first meeting between the two teams as conference foes since the Southwest Conference days. 1996, the last time those two teams met as conference foes. So be a 1 o'clock tip-off. You can find the game on 107.7 Yes FM. We've got bowl game action wall-to-wall for you today and tomorrow on both 100.7 The Score and Double T 97.3. Today's action starts here on 100.7 The Score at 11. Gator Bowl, Clemson and Kentucky. Should be a pretty good one there. Sun Bowl, the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Notre Dame and Oregon State, ranked matchup there. That'll be on 100.7 The Score. Then it'll flip over to Double T 97.3. Liberty Bowl, Memphis, Iowa State at 3, followed by the Cotton Bowl, Missouri, Ohio State at about 7 tonight. You can find all those games on 100.7 The Score or Double T 97.3. Yesterday's bowl action, if you missed it, some more Big 12 wins, or another Big 12 win and a future Big 12 winner, as NC State falls to Kansas State 28-19. Arizona took down OU 38-24. 6 OU turnovers last night. They were gifting them. Rutgers over Miami 31-24 in the Pinstripe Bowl, and then Boston College beat SMU in 23-14 in the Fenway Bowl.
Throughout all that time, you left out the biggest story in sports this year.
In sports?
In sports.
Go on.
The Pop-Tart.
He was edible? Okay.
Come on. You don't know. You haven't seen any. This has been.
No, I haven't.
This has taken over the internet.
Okay. Yes. I've seen, but I'm still confused.
Okay. How are you confused?
So the mascot is edible. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. That's where I'm confused. How is the mascot edible?
Okay. So at the end of the game, they're doing the big celebration. K-State has won. He's standing at the top of a large fake toaster. Okay.
Yes, I
dancing.
saw this. And I love.
Then he puts up the sign.
Too. Did you see the entrance to the game where he's like he's?
Then he puts up a sign that says "Dreams do come true."
Okay.
They lower him down into the imaginary toaster. At the bottom of it, it spits out a massive Pop-Tart that looks just like him, but now we don't have to eat around.
Okay, I didn't actually get to see
legs.
the video of this. Okay.
You didn't see it?
No, I hadn't seen
Kleiman's sitting there, and they start digging into this. I mean, it's the size of you know what it's the size of? It's actually bigger than like a pallet.
Okay.
I'd say it's like 2 pallets worth of Pop-Tart. You know, like you see at Lowe's or, you know, pallets all over the place.
Right.
And it just took the internet by storm. These people are geniuses.
I'm telling you, Dukes, Mayo, and Pop-Tarts are
But I'm
getting
telling
more
you,
for
Pop-Tart went bigger and better. I guarantee you they got more impressions. The Mayo thing is just like kind of gross. All right. That's the way that this Pop-Tart deal is delicious, right?
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
How huge that thing is.
Yes, it's massive. A massive Pop-Tart. And I never even think about Pop-Tarts. Now all I can think about are Pop-Tarts.
This thing's crazy. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. That is amazing. A giant Pop-Tart. No, I missed that. So,
there's been so much greatness on the internet. So, Dad, tell me what you remember about the 2023 Pop-Tart Bowl mascot, and remember the
the crying Vince
McMahon. Yeah.
McMahon.
Yeah.
It's like Vince McMahon? That is his name, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Second guess.
You know, where he's all teared up and he can't talk.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean, this is the Pope holding up the Pop-Tart mascot. I mean, it's been a feast.
But I was just saying, both of those two get more bang for their buck out of these bowl games than any other sponsor out there. I mean, what even is Radiance Technologies? I mean, I was in Shreveport for 4 days,
still don't know.
and I still don't even know what Radiance Technologies
The Stanford Tree tweeted, "R.I.P. to my dear friend and mentor at Pop-Tarts Bowl mascot. I find solace in knowing that in being eaten, you achieved your most precious goal. This loss is bitter and sweet and sugary and tart, just
funny.
like you."
That is funny. Oh my goodness. That's brilliant marketing. Brilliant. They went all in on this Pop-Tart Bowl, and good on them. Couple quick ones real quick. Mavs fall to the Timberwolves 118-110. Spurs actually won a game against the Blazers 118-105. Blazers and Spurs play again tonight. The scheduling in the NBA is weird. They are playing back-to-back at the same spot in Portland. That'll be at 9 o'clock tonight. Rockets 76ers at 7 tonight. NHL Stars Blackhawks at 7. And, of course, the Cap Rock tournament continues today with the 6 brackets, 119 teams. Pretty big one. They will continue today. I know Monterey girls won, Estacado boys won, Friendship girls won. Those are all in the winners brackets currently, but I think they're playing as we speak. Most of those teams have 9 o'clock games this morning. You two can join us. Your thoughts, your comments, your questions, all of it welcome. One more headline, not a good one. Terrence Shannon, if you missed it, Terrence Shannon has been charged with rape in Lawrence. Douglas County, Kansas, and Lawrence is where it is. He went there yesterday, turned himself into authorities, posted a $50,000 bail, and he's back in Champaign, Illinois, but is suspended from Illinois basketball. Hate to see that. I am in the camp of I do not cast judgment until more comes out, but bad situation for all.
Well, it's a terrible situation when you think about really everything that would be involved in the headline.
Sure.
You know, it jumps up to the front page of ESPN.com. The guy was, playing at his full potential. This evidently occurred on a football trip where I'm sure he went back to visit, guys like McCullough and others when Kansas and Illinois played football. So it dates back to when this allegedly happened in September.
Right.
So this has been just kind of, I'm sure, going through the investigatory process. And then they decided to bring formal charges, and so that's where we're at now, and we'll see what happens with TJ.
Yep. Hate it for, again, all involved. Hate it for the victim if they're being truthful. Hate it for Shannon if they're not. It's a bad, bad situation. So hopefully some good comes out of it, but don't know if there will be. You two can hit us up. The thoughts, the comments, the questions, all of it welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll get to some of that, some basketball thoughts from the chat line, and get Hax's thoughts coming up on this team moving into league play. We'll skip ahead, don't worry, because by the time we talk again, you will be going into league play. It'll be a Texas game on the docket. All that still to come. You're listening to the End of the Bench till 11 this morning on 100.7 The Score.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy Friday, y'all, and welcome back onto the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app, brought to you, as always, by our friends at Happy State Bank. Alongside Geoff Haxton, I'm Chois Woodman. Lucas White back behind the glass taking care of us. Keep hitting us up. Whatever thoughts, comments, questions you got, bring those in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. I looked up and realized we only got an hour left. So get them in quickly. Questions. 45 minutes out from Ask the Benchwarmers. We'll still deliver a dad joke or two. But Ask the Benchwarmers coming up at 10:45 this morning as we give way to the Gator Bowl at 11, and we'll have bowl coverage on 100.7 The Score and Double T 97.3. Got plenty more to get into. Tell us what your favorite sports moment of 2023 was. Get to that Coming up, a couple more basketball thoughts as well. Like this one, Hax, in your opinion, what is this team missing?
What is this team missing? Lawrence Odiase.
Lawrence. I was going to say an All-American, but that'll work too. Any of those. Second big would be it, right?
Doesn't even have to be a big. A 3 to a 4.
Devin Cambridge.
Yeah.
You're missing that?
Devin, I'd love to have Devin back. I mean, he's your most explosive guy. Finished at the rim the best.
Energy guy. Yeah.
Energy guy. High energy guy, right? Dunker. You know,
Yep.
You love that stuff. But I'm in search of a you know who's got the body to do it, but not the experience, not even close, is Yalaho.
Yeah. Saw a little bit of him last night.
Size, shoulders getting bigger. Somebody to get in there and do dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's a lot of dirty work guys. I mean, like Lamar Washington has just fallen off. You know, I really just think he's gotten passed by the talent that's on the roster as far as getting playing time. But you need a messy basketball player. And the best example that we've seen in the last 20 years, I think, is Mark Vidal from Baylor.
Yeah, unfortunately. But he's exactly what you would. A 6'6" guy that rebounds like he's 7 foot.
Yeah.
A guy that
gets
will
in there
go
and tries
in there.
to play the role of Dennis Rodman.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what he is.
And I know people are out there going like, oh, Hax, you'd like to have Rodman. Yes, absolutely I would. Not the craziness, but the ability to throw your body into situations where it's not comfortable, do the things that hurt, and fight and scratch for every basketball that's out there.
Yep.
That's what this team's missing. Because I tell you what, you got your gunslingers, you got space, you got.
Which, to an extent, is exactly the first guy you mentioned, Lawrence Odiase. He's a
Thank you.
dirty work guy. I mean, that's exactly who he was. An undersized big, but a guy that would go get the job done for you. So, yeah, you need...
Who's basketball's brand of an enforcer.
Yeah, no doubt. Morning, guys. This is from Central Texas. Hank, hope y'all have a blessed, safe, and happy New Year. See you on the flip side. Thanks, Hank. Hope you have just the same. I like this one. Dan in Dallas says, for still need to do day, I still need to lose 10 pounds. Do y'all think I have a chance? You can do it, man. Do one of those juice cleanses over the next 3 days.
Get a trash sack or a
sweat it out,
sweatsuit, and find a sauna and a spin bike, and you can absolutely get there.
Let's go.
Now you'll be there for about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
but you could get
eat
there.
It back. When I really work out hard, like play basketball for 2 hours or so, I'll lose 5 pounds in sweat, but then it goes back very quickly. It's just in sweat. Dang, y'all are arguing like that Lufton Hines fella. That's from Mark H. We weren't arguing. It's cordial disagreement. I think this was about our FCS conversation. Are you shocked with the Terrence Shannon news like I am? You knew you were around him more, but this seemed I don't know. I'm not saying anybody's void of anything. Anybody can't do anything because I know that happens. I mean, but it seems out of his character to me. I'm just saying from observation. Seems out of character. He's a fairly mild-mannered, quieter guy off the court. I was very surprised to see that news, personally. And again, he's not guilty until proven so.
I'm pretty shocked by it.
Yeah.
I was around him for a lot.
Yeah.
I know his mother is heavily involved in his life.
Mm-hmm.
I know he loves his mom. I know you can love your mom and
sure.
and commit
do bad
crimes.
Things,
okay.
Yeah.
Just trying to give you a little bit of background on what I saw from Terrence, who was a soft-spoken. The thing about him was, I felt we shared a lot because for Terrence, there were massive highs and massive lows. And he would get into situations where he couldn't get out of that valley.
Yeah.
And I think that was as a human and a basketball player, maybe more as a human. Like basketball gave him an outlet to feel better about himself. But there were some massive ups and downs with him.
Right.
And he kind of wore his emotions on his sleeve. Guilty here too. But I never saw anything that would lead me to believe he could do something like this. And so I'll just leave it at that. That's just what I think that was the character that I was able to witness. And again, it's not like I'm hanging with him after games or anything. This is just on the bus, planes, courts, those sort of things. But I always thought that he was a pretty good kid.
I think that's fair. You were, from your observations, that's a completely fair statement.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Again, sad to see and sad situation all the way around. No matter who's at fault or what happened, it's sad. Hax didn't get a chance to get through yesterday. How do you feel about Bowman coming back to your Cowboys for his 7th year? It's not official yet, but I think he's going to get it because he only played in 3 games, I think in 2019 at Texas Tech, and that's where he's going to get that medical red shirt. I mean, they don't really deny the medical red shirt anywhere at this point.
I will be elated if he comes back. Got to be honest.
I mean, why not? He guided your team to 9 wins this year. Sorry, 9 regular season wins. For those not watching, Hax flashed the 10 to me. 10 wins this year. Another 10-win season. Can we get one? I just want one.
Backfoot Bowman. I mean, he's going to have, again, the whole offensive line back, Ollie Gordon, and they're going to have the receiver. I mean, he's got it set up to where he can go crazy next year.
Hey, next year's our year. We're getting 10 wins next year here in Lubbock. Maybe. Hopefully.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Thanks for hanging with us on a Friday. Got about 30 minutes left in the program. We'll give away to the Gator Bowl at 11 o'clock. It's the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. Chois, Woodman, Jeffrey Haxton here in the First United Bank studio. Lucas White taking care of us. You can keep hitting us up. The thoughts, the comments, the questions. All welcome on the Yates Flooring Center chat line through the 100.7 The Score mobile app. There is we'll get to burning questions in a moment. Get your questions in. Ask the Benchwarmers, 15 minutes out. A couple of questions in so far. There's a map put together. Let's see. This is analyzed by more than 500,000 tweets. So more than 500,000 tweets. And produce state-by-state results of who people hate the most in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Who people hate the most. Can you guess? This is, electoral college here. So state-wise, who is the most hated team in the college football playoff? With Michigan, Washington, Bama, and Texas.
I'm going to guess Texas.
I would have guessed that they would have been a lot more hated than they are, but no.
It's because they haven't been around in a while.
I think that's what it is. The lack of relevance in the last decade and a half is probably why Texas is not near as hated on this map in particular. It is Alabama by a long shot, and it's, I think, the inverse of what you just said, the relevance. They've been extremely relevant. By far, if you look at this map, Bama hated by almost the entire country. So the tweets say that Bama, most people are rooting against, including the state of Texas. I was wondering if
it would be funny if the state of Texas.
I kind of wonder, because there's enough Texas people in Texas that hate Texas but no, Texas people are hating Bama the most. Oklahoma hates Texas the most. Alaska and Washington, of course, Washington playing against Texas, So those are the ones that Oregon hates Washington and New Mexico hates Washington the most. That's pretty random. Then Michigan is hated by Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Alabama. Those are the teams that are the states that hate Michigan. Every single other state against Alabama in this. What's your rooting interest here? Because I have trouble rooting for any of these teams.
I do too.
I think I'm Michigan or Washington. I don't like Washington, and I don't know. I know who I want to win the least, and that's Texas. And then it's probably Alabama after that. So
I don't think there's one bit of rooting for anybody. It's more rooting against.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Listen, I'm not ashamed to admit. I work in a capacity where I know my peers hear things that I say, and I would tell Craig Way to his face, I hate Texas.
As you
I
should.
would tell Toby Rowland to his face, I hate Oklahoma.
Don't hate you guys, just hate your schools.
Yeah, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. But I think there's a situation here where there's not a team in this thing that I really care about or like. I don't care about anything from the Pac-12 or the remnants of it. I don't care about Harbaugh and his saga.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, the cheating scandal. It's hard for me to say, all right, these guys are like the Astros and they cheat so I'm going to be on that side, or no, this is a pitchfork and torch situation where they're coming after I don't care about any of that. I'd like to see the ball on the field here. I'm going to watch the games.
Yeah.
But my rooting interest is no Texas.
Yeah. That's exactly where I'm at. No Texas, and then Bama's second on the root against list, and then just kind of let it fall where it may. I think I would like the undefeated matchup of Michigan and Washington in the championship. The two undefeated teams, yeah. Let them square off and see what happens. But both of them underdogs in their respective games. A couple more comments. Let's see. This one says someone clipped that 10-win comment from Chois. Another one says Texas Tech versus OSU in the Big 12 championship next year. Book it.
Sign me up.
Be a fun week leading up to it. All right, let's get to the burning questions. Burning.
2 minutes of nonstop in-your-face inquiries with no end in sight. It's time now for Burning Questions.
The Hateful Eight, by the way, is undefeated in bowl games.
The who?
The Hateful Eight.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. 5-2 is a league, but Hateful Eight.
6-2.
6-2. Thank you. Forgot the extra one. If you had to hide a giraffe from the government, where would you put it?
I would do one of those national treasure type situations and hide it in the government's lap.
Just put it right in. We're going to put this one in the Capitol building.
Put this in the Lincoln Memorial area. Hide it in the Smithsonian. That's the last place they'll look.
They'll never look there. Lucas?
I would construct it somehow to fit in the Eiffel Tower.
Okay.
My real answer is the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
No one's going up there. Yeah.
Uper.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Can a giraffe survive up there?
Not in the winter.
No, you're going to give them a home, an indoor home, right? Empty can or cup on the road. Are you trying to run it over and smash it or leave it alone?
Leave it alone.
If it's a full, I mean, like none untouched, you don't run it over?
No, you're in a tank. I'm in a low rider.
It's a can.
I don't care. I swear a can can take down the Charger. I swear to you, man.
Oh, my gosh.
After the battery incident, I'm avoiding everything.
Okay, you know what? Because of the PTSD, I get it. But there's never been a point in your life where you're like, yeah, I'm going to run that sucker over. See if I can.
Yeah, when I was in my have owned 2 Dodge Rams.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be like, crunch.
Well, that's always been my personality. I'm running that sucker over. So if ever anyone was a complete jerk and put a cup full of nails just on the road just for the heck of it, I'm in some trouble. Lucas, you run it over, you
Matt had a horse name there.
Cup full of nails.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, actually.
I would have run it over.
Yeah, I mean it's there to run over. Cup full of nails. Sorry, I'm stuck on the horse name there. All right, Hax.
Here comes cup full of nails.
What is the thing in your life you're most grateful for?
A lot of stuff, but I don't want to start listing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just give a generic one for family or whatever
The sun.
if you want. Okay. The Son? Like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, or the El Sol up there in the
Shut
sky?
up about the sun.
Stop. This is not.
How many windows are there in New York City?
Oh, that's great. That's great. Lucas, what are you most grateful for, man?
Definitely my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Liberty football second, right? Obviously.
Very close second.
Okay. All right, a few comments and questions rolling in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll get to the questions specifically. A couple more comments as well. Ask the Benchwarmers coming up. We'll toss in a dad joke as well. And we're closing it down. It's the end of the bench with you till 11 on 100.7 The Score.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It is time for Ask the Benchwarmers. You may think to yourself, it's not 11:45. We're not going to be here at 11:45. We are out here in about 10 minutes, giving way to the Gator Bowl, Clemson and Kentucky. Get to that, more of your comments on the chat line, but get your questions in right now. Ask the Benchwarmers time here on 100.7 The Score. He's Hax. I'm Chois. Lucas across the way. Questions for any and all of us are welcome. You can also tweet us at 107 The Score or dial us up on the Visual Edge IT hotline, 806-771-0973. Before the questions, we need to get a quick dad joke in. If it can be unsanctioned, Lucas, if you're already on the... Well, he's there.
Day.
Hey, Hax.
Yep.
You know why people in Athens can't ever wake up until noon?
Is this a Greek joke or a Georgia joke?
This would be Greek.
That doesn't help me. Go ahead.
They say dawn is pretty tough on Greece.
You've done that one before.
There's a chance of it, yeah. I thought I might have, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have one, Lucas, you're welcome. Well, if you want, you can use Al Michaels and his joke from last night. Did you hear on the broadcast? I know you were calling a game, so I don't know if you've come across this.
I haven't heard it.
Okay. So Al Michaels on the Browns-Jets broadcast took a little zinger.
Okay, I almost clicked on it, but go ahead.
Somebody pounding on that trash can. I think the Astros must be in town. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Don't apologize.
Don't
Al.
apologize. That's good.
Own it. Thanks, the Bullfighter. He just sent me that. But I love that.
Astros must be in town.
Astros must be in town. Speaking of Bullfighter, says, highest moment was actually getting to go to the World Series game, even though we lost. I love that I got the experience. My favorite moment was when the outfielder missed the ball in Game 5. At that moment, I knew the Rangers were going to win it all. Yeah, that was pretty special. Pretty special, the joys that come with your team winning a championship. At this point, Hax won't even roll over a paper cup. It's true, though. It is true.
It is true.
Oh, man.
Bobbing
Benchwarmers.
and weaving.
Oh, man. Benchwarmers, if you could go to any bowl game over the next 3 days, what would you choose? Which ones to go to? So we got, I got the whole bowl list here. Let's see, Gator Bowl, Sun Bowl, Liberty Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Peach Bowl, Music City Bowl, Orange Bowl, Arizona Bowl, ReliaQuest Bowl, Citrus Bowl, Fiesta Bowl. So which ones are the playoff two? Orange Bowl and... Which ones are the semifinals? Is it Orange Bowl and Peach Bowl?
Thought we were past the burning questions.
Yeah, sorry. Attend. Well, that matters for location too. So bye Sun Bowl. Not going to El Paso. Even though that's a good game.
Not going to El Paso.
That's a good game. I wouldn't mind the Gator Bowl, Clemson and Kentucky. Probably not picking that. Golly. I guess I'm probably choosing one of the semifinals. Rose Bowl, Michigan, Alabama.
It's in California.
I can visit California. I just don't want to live there. It's probably pretty nice right now compared to our 26-degree weather I woke up to this morning.
I was going to say, I'm going Miami.
You going
to
Florida?
The Orange Bowl.
Orange Bowl would probably be second to me. Florida State,
but a day
Georgia.
Orange Bowl doesn't seem right.
And I'm decking out in Florida State gear, too. I'm all in for the Seminoles on that one. I mean, the Sugar Bowl would be good. New Orleans, Washington, and Texas, and rooting hard for the Huskies. But, man, if I had to go see Texas win in person, I would.
Yeah, I already saw a lot of Texas fans.
I don't want to.
I'm going to have to be down there on the 6th.
Yuck. We got a shot at winning that game?
Absolutely you do.
I felt like it. I just didn't want to be my overly optimistic homer that I normally am. I mean, I don't think Texas is far and away ahead of Texas Tech right now in football.
One spot behind them in Ken Palm.
What would you say, 40 and 39 right now? Yeah, I think that's going to be a fairly telling game. Now, you got it on their home floor, so they've got the advantage, obviously. But, yeah, I have not seen a lot from Texas in the pre-conference play that makes me say, oh, I'm scared of that team. Now, there's plenty of teams I am very nervous about. Baylor and Kansas and Houston. But Texas isn't in that same grouping with those teams to me.
No. No.
If Missouri rolls Ohio State, is that a predictor that Alabama will roll Michigan? No, because Ohio State's playing without their starting quarterback. So you factor that in. Missouri's probably a lot more motivated to be in the Cotton Bowl.
I think Missouri is going to have a lot of success in this game. I think they're sneaky, kind of under the radar, really good. Which is hard for me to say,
I know.
Distaste for Mizzou. But I do think they're going to win this game. I really do. I think they're on the up and up. They've done a really good job this year. Been in the top 10. Have just been really solid.
Yeah. I don't disagree with any of that. And I think those are not mutually exclusive. So I'll say I'm going to pick Missouri to win, and I'm going to pick Michigan to win. I think they're separate, completely separate. Motivation, again, factors in so much in bowl games. I don't think Ohio State's going to be as excited to be in the Cotton Bowl as Missouri will be. So,
who I'm pulling for, too, is really pulling for Iowa State.
To beat Memphis?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Late.
Oh, okay, just to keep that going?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be good. And that's the last one of the Hateful Eight, right?
I believe so.
You got Iowa State and Texas. Are they the only two that haven't played yet? Or am I missing one? Yeah, I think so. I think you had 9 bowl teams and you've played.
K-State won last night. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's all that's
So I'm pulling for the clones.
Bullfighter says, Hax, give me your bowl pick'em list so I can make some money. I got it right here if you want to just hand it over.
Yeah, I'm like 14 and 12. I don't know if you really want to talk to me about bowl victories.
I actually had to send Lucas my list this morning because if I happen to win this thing, there's going to be so much people. Oh, he had the list.
By the way, everybody, we're almost done. Can you fire him, please?
Fire me for that. because I was tied for first yesterday.
What we've done there with Choice, now you fire them right away because of accountability.
Now, your accountability is currently Choice is leading his own designed bowl pick'em.
Of course. You can go, the proof, well, I'm sending you my list too, just so that way the rest of the way you can.
My son, he's 13 and 11. He's tied with his dad because we picked the exact same teams.
Yeah, I know.
Golly, he's just my
He's
twin.
in on it.
He's my twin. Say, Dad, you think if I win the next 16 in a row, I can win the whole thing? It's like, yeah, probably. If you go 16 and 0 down the
16
stretch.
and 0, you're going to do really well, son. Benchwarmers, how much of that huge Pop-Tart from the Pop-Tart Bowl are you eating? Either competition or if you're really hungry.
I'm eating 2 bites of the frosting. The frosting was a foot wide.
Yeah, that was thick. Was that like whipped cream? I mean, did you see it? Did you see the final picture of it?
No. Oh, yeah.
There was one eyeball left.
Yeah.
There's like an eyeball left on the Pop-Tart, and then all the frosting was taken off.
You talk about an edible mascot?
Oh, my
That's an edible mascot if there's just an eyeball left.
Sugar is Texas, Washington. Didn't I say that? I'm pretty sure I said Sugar Bowl. I wouldn't want to go to the Sugar Bowl because I'd have to go experience Texas. Yeah, no.
I don't want to be in New Orleans at all. I've been to a Sugar Bowl. It's okay.
Do they have casinos?
They do. We're at downtown Harris, man.
Yeah. Now they don't have them on the river.
Then you can go across the street and get the charbroiled oysters.
Yeah. Best moment, Altuve home run in Game 5 of the ALCS, or the Astros beating the Twins to secure entry into the Astros Invitational. I mean the ALCS. Go Stros. Well, I'm glad you got that.
Glad you got that one.
We enjoyed ours probably a little more as Rangers fans. But I know. You've got some bragging rights too. Not this year, though. It was a good 2023.
On the what I'm most thankful for, it's definitely Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior.
Attaboy.
It is tempting to go down the road of political correctness. That time is over.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ is what I'm most thankful for.
Good. That's a fantastic answer and a good way to end the year. Hax, have a good New Year. We'll talk to you on the other side.
Amen.
For Hax and Lucas, I'm Choice. It's been the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.